Hello students, it's Mr. Wilsey. Please get out some paper so that we can take down some notes on this new section, multiplying binomials. Now, let's have a thought bubble real quick. If I ask you to multiply, let's say 2x times, in parentheses, 3x plus 1. You should know how to do that. The reason I know you should know how to do that is because this is the first example from my last video. When I ask you to multiply a monomial by a binomial, that just means distribute the 2x into the parentheses. So this would be 6x squared plus 2x times 1 is 2x. Okay? So this would be the final answer right here. Multiply. Now we're going to do the same exact thing in this next section, except we're going to be multiplying binomials. So let me give you an example of two binomials. Let's say 2x plus 4. That's a binomial because it has two terms. And then 3x minus 7. That is also a binomial. Now, what we're going to be interested in doing in this section is multiplying these together. So in order to indicate that we're multiplying them, first of all, we need to wrap both of them inside of parentheses, multiplication sign in the middle, and then we need to have the directions. Multiply. Okay? So this is going to be our example 1. And I shouldn't need to tell you, but you're taking down notes with me. Now, just like over here, when the directions say multiply, we distribute. So over here, the first thing that we can do is distribute. Now, in this case, it's going to be a little bit weird because we are taking this whole thing in parentheses and we are distributing it to the 3x and to the negative 7. Okay? So watch how this is going to work. 2x plus 4 inside of parentheses still, times inside of parentheses 3x, and then plus 2x plus 4 inside of parentheses again, times negative 7 inside of parentheses. Notice that all we did was distribute this whole thing to both of the terms inside the second binomial. Now, after we do that, we distribute again. Okay? We have a thing multiplying something inside of parentheses, a thing multiplying something inside of parentheses. So in each of these cases, we're going to distribute. So 3x gets distributed into the parentheses that it's attached to. So this would make 2 times 3 is 6, x and x is x squared. So 6x squared plus 12x. Now, we are also going to distribute the negative 7 into the parentheses that it is attached to. So negative 7 times 2x is negative 14x. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. Okay? Now, we are not quite done yet. We have one more step. We need to simplify this expression. Now, the only way that we can simplify it is right here. We have like terms. 12x minus 14x is negative 2x. Everything else stays the same. 6x squared minus 2x minus 28. Now, we are done. So we can box this. Now, I have taught you one method for multiplying binomials. So write this out over here. Method number 1. This is what I like to call double distribute, because you distribute right here and then you distribute again. Actually, it really ought to be called triple distribute, because in this case we distributed twice. Okay? It doesn't matter. We just have a name for this method. Now, double distribute will always work. Now, let me show you another example of using double distribute again. We're going to go a little bit quicker through this one. Example 2, let's say the directions were to multiply. How about k minus 6 inside of parentheses times 4k minus 3. I don't have a multiplication sign in the middle now, even though it's understood that there is multiplication happening here. Okay, so in order to do this, I'm going to distribute the whole first thing inside of parentheses. That goes to the 4k, and it also goes to the negative 3. So I'm going to write inside of parentheses k minus 6 times 4k plus k minus 6 times negative 3. So on this next line, we are going to distribute again. 4k goes to the k and to the negative 6. K times 4k is 4k squared. 4k times negative 6 is negative 24k. And then we are going to distribute the negative 3 into the parentheses here and here. K times negative 3 is negative 3k. Negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18. Okay, one last step, combine like terms. Negative 24k minus 3k is negative 27k. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so this is not too bad, right? Again, the method that we used here was double distribute. Now, I'm going to teach you another method that might be a little bit quicker to multiplying binomials like this. Watch what I'm going to do. Example 3. Let's say we wanted to multiply, how about 5t minus 3 times 2t plus 1. Okay? Now, the method that we're going to learn how to apply in this case, the method 2, it's called FOIL, in all capital letters. Now the FOIL is an acronym. Each letter in FOIL stands for a step, okay? And the F stands for first, O stands for outside, I stands for inside, L stands for last. Now let me show you how we're going to apply FOIL to multiply this binomial. First of all, the first. The F tells you multiply the first two terms, the 5t and the 2t. Okay? So 5t times 2t, that's the F. 5t times 2t is 10t squared. 10t squared. So that is the result of multiplying the first two terms. Now we're going to multiply, so we've done first, now we're going to multiply the outside terms. 5t and 1 are the outside terms. 5t times 1, 5t times 1 is the O. 5t times 1 is just 5t, so plus 5t gives us O. Now, we're going to multiply the inside terms. The inside terms are negative 3 and 2t. Negative 3 times 2t is negative 6t. So this is the I for inside terms. Now we're going to multiply the last two terms. The last two terms are negative 3 and 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Okay? Now, notice that we get something that looks very similar to what we got up here after doing double distribute. Once we get to this point, we just simplify. So in this case, the only like terms that we can simplify are 5t minus 6t, which is negative 1t, which is negative t. Everything else stays the same. So 10t squared minus t minus 3. That is the multiplied form of that expression there. Now, FOIL is something that you can do in your head, but it only works for multiplying binomials like this. If we get into more complicated things that we're trying to multiply, then we can't use FOIL. But FOIL is a quick method that you might like. Okay? Let me do another example of FOIL again. We are cruising along. All right, example 4. Let's say I wanted you to multiply 3x squared plus 2 times x minus 8. Now this is still a binomial multiplied by a binomial because there's 2 terms in each one. Now, let me show you how quick it is to do FOIL. Okay? So remember FOIL, F-O-I-L. F, multiply the first 2 terms. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x cubed. O stands for outside, so multiply 3x squared by negative 8 to get negative 24x squared. So negative 24x squared. Then we're going to multiply the inside terms. 2 times x is 2x plus 2x. And then we're going to multiply the last 2 terms. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. All right. Now we have this expression, but we're done. We cannot simplify this any further because there are no like terms. X cubed, x squared, x, and then nothing, no x. So we're done here. You see how quick and easy that was with FOIL? So again, this was using method number 2. FOIL. All right, now we're going to look at a third method to multiplying binomials. Method number 3. And I call this the box method. All right. What we're going to do, we are going to look at one of the examples that we've already done, except instead of using it in the original method, we're going to use the box method this time, and we're going to try to get the same answer. So how about let's look at example number 1 again. 2x plus 4 times 3x minus 7. So the directions are multiply 2x plus 4 times 3x minus 7. All right. Except this time, instead of using double distribute, we're going to use the box method. Now, let me show you how to set this up. We have 2 binomials, so we're going to make a tic-tac-toe grid. Okay? Leave yourself plenty of room. Make a big tic-tac-toe grid. That. Now, we are not going to need this space up here. Okay? It's like Hollywood squares, kind of. This guy, you know, up here in the top left, he keeps saying silly things, and we don't want to hear him anymore, so we turn off the lights up in the top left. We're done with you. Now, up at the top, we are going to put the terms from one of our binomials. Let's do 2x plus 4, okay? So I'm going to put 2x right here. That's one term. And then I'm going to put the 4 right here. Now I'm going to take my 3x minus 7, and I'm going to put the terms down here on the left side. 3x could go here. Negative 7 could go here. All right. Now, in the intersection point, so for example right here, The intersection point in the middle, what we're going to put there is the product of the 2x and the 3x. The product, remember, means the result of multiplying those two. So what is 2x times 3x? 6x squared. So that goes in the intersection point. We're going to do the same exact thing with all of the other 4 squares. So for example, on the far right, we're going to multiply 4 times 3x to get 12x. Down here, we're going to multiply 2x times negative 7 to get negative 14x. Then on the bottom right, we're going to multiply 4 times negative 7 to get negative 28. Now, all of these red pieces, we're going to add those together. So 6x squared plus 12x, it doesn't matter what order we go in, plus a negative 14x plus a negative 28. Okay? Now this looks exactly the same as what we found over here. And so there's one last step. We need to combine like terms. 12x minus 14x, negative 2x in the middle there. There you go. That was pretty easy. All right? The box method. The box method, again, just tells you what it helps you make sure that you're multiplying all of the terms correctly. Okay? It's a nice way to organize things. Now, the box method can be used on any type of multiplication problem, not just multiplying binomials. So let's do one last example, except in this case, instead of multiplying binomials, we're going to multiply a trinomial by a binomial. So our trinomial is going to be 3x squared plus x minus 5. Remember that it's a trinomial because it has 3 terms. We're going to multiply that by 2x minus 7. Now, in this case, the way that we're going to set up our box is tic-tac-toe grid again, except this time we need one more column in order to fit all of the pieces of that trinomial. So we're going to extend this out, one more column. It actually doesn't matter if we extended one more column or one more row. Okay? It doesn't matter. That's one of the beauties of the box method. You can do it any number of ways. Up here, we're not going to need that box, that square, so get rid of it. Now, what's going to go up here is 3x squared, x, and negative 5. Over here, 2x and negative 7. So what goes here is 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed. 2x squared goes here. And then 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x, goes right here. Then down here, 3x squared times negative 7 is negative 21x squared. Over here, negative 7x. And over here is positive 35. Okay? Negative 7 times negative 5 gives positive 35. Now we have a bunch of pieces that are added together. 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 10x minus 21x squared minus 7x plus 35. Now again, it doesn't matter what order we put these in because they're all added together. But we do have some like terms here.